So you tell me.
Yeah. All right. So here we are making your first video for slide stuff. Right hand technique and slides really unforgiving, so we want to be in a good position. We're hitting some bass notes in this, but they're really just like placeholders. The point is to learn the licks. So let's make the first four part one, where I drew the line, and get really good up to there before you try the next bit. So we start by hitting these three fingers and sliding 10, 12, 10, 12. And these are slides that sound like a single slide. Just be sure you're meeting behind your slide. Be sure your thumb is moving. And yeah, do get a new slide before you try to practice this. Or if we're doing a lesson next week or something, I'll loan you one. And then there will be bass notes, but first let's just get good at the riffs. So then, cool. So the second riff, it starts with that same. So let's zero in on the next two notes. We've got a 10th fret first string note, and your ring finger is your ring finger. So that's one thing, is be sure that we're hearing in there, not just, there we go. So yeah, so we just went, and then we're going to go, which on our right hand is going to require when first string, put it back and keep it back, second string. So if you can make yourself just with open strings, just go 3 or 4 times, not turning it into a song that loops there or whatever, just show your hands how to do that, and then just go, excuse me. So yeah, I hit the first string at the 10th fret, not a slide, just a place, dampen that, move forward. And it's just, preceded by the same bling bling from the first lick, so. Cool, so there's that one. And if you get good at that, you already know the third lick. So zeroing in on the last 3 notes there, it's the exact same that we were doing, and then we hit the third string. So those last 2 notes don't have a dampen, they're just like regular ones. So we go dampen, don't dampen. So that's, if you're having any issues with that, it's not right. So that's like, there we are. There's the 2 kinds of 2-string combinations there are. There's gotta dampen, and then there's don't have to dampen. Cool. So that's cool. And then, so really get good up to there before you move on. But then the next one's the one where I did it with a pick, and it went, which is cool, but we're trying to go. That's these 2, put them back, these 2, the only thing that could go wrong other than all the same shit, and just, meet behind your slide, get squared away, get your right hand squared away, is that in between, if we didn't put our fingers back, we'd hear back up here. So those last 2, when we did that during the lesson, you were going subconsciously. And it's a fine line between being really close to the strings and accidentally dampening. So, but yeah, so it's these 2, and the second half's the thing you were just doing. Cool, so there's our part 1 where I drew the line. We've gone. And there's bass notes in between, but learn the 4 licks first. And then it says 3, 4, 1. Cool. And then we go, so now that your thumb moves to the 4th string, and we cease to play bass, we go, you better come on. That's just 2 open notes, and then the same. That started our whole thing. And then in my kitchen. So on the right hand, that's these 2 ringing out, dampen them. Then we do this, that, where it is a dampen. So that's the first time we've done the 2 high strings without needing to dampen. It's, dampen them. And then this is the thumb. And that's the part where we worked on it during the lesson, just going index, put it back, thumb. And zeroing in on that without playing the slide part, it was easy for you. And this is where your thumb index juxtaposition with your positioning stuff will jam you up if we don't have it, if you have your thumb too far back in this direction. Cool, so that was So that's in my kitchen, and that last one. So it's 2 notes, 1 note, 9. Cool, and be sure you're meaning behind your slide. I'm just going to keep saying that. Cool, so the new section went. Excuse me. And there are, that's right, it goes. Where? Yeah. And then we got. Which I just kind of beefed up, but it's got all the same shit. The same thing we've been doing, but there's 3 of them. Then the exact same we were just doing. And then just. So there it is. The second part we were just doing is. Then if you want to go nuts, your right hand would move to strings 2, 3, and 4 for the first time, and it would go, which is, index, index, thumb, thumb. Damn. But either way, though, like I'm saying, the point is not to string the licks together so much. That'll happen, is just learn them as your means to get used to this right hand technique. But here's one spin through the whole thing. I just beat it. And when I play that, I just play bass throughout the whole thing. I just go, which is a whole different skill set. So if I was beefing it at all there, it's because I'm used to doing a different thing. But there it is, man. There's you playing slide stuff. Also mess around with some 0, 3, 5 stuff. Just try not to do the same shit you always do. Try picking some single strings. So when we're not in this position, 1, 2, 3, we tend to be on strings 2, 3, and 4 with these guys. We always need them to be on adjacent strings because we can't really do too much with the same finger twice in a row playing slide. All right, really well done, man.